Why men are losing the war, nobody named. There is a war happening right now, and it is not being fought with guns or armies. It is being fought with algorithms, screens engineered pleasure, and manufactured comfort. And the most terrifying part, most men don't even know they're in it. And the ones who are losing the hardest, they think everything is fine. The war nobody named. The world that built your grandfather was the world built for you. Let me paint you two pictures. Your grandfather, or great-grandfather, woke up every single day with something you and I rarely feel anymore. Real stakes, real consequences, real purpose. He worked a job with his hands or his back. He built things. He provided for people who depended on him. He didn't have time to be lost because life demanded he show up. Failure wasn't a concept. It was a reality he couldn't afford. So he forged himself into something. Now let's talk about the world built for you. You wake up and before your feet hit the floor, your phone is already in your hand. Dopamine hit number 1. You open social media. Dopamine hit number 2. You sit on the toilet scrolling through other people's highlight reels, feeling quietly inferior about your own life without even knowing why. You go through the day half present, vaguely restless, occasionally motivated, but mostly just going through the motions. At night when you're alone and the silence starts to feel heavy, the screen is right there waiting. It always is. And it always delivers. Instant pleasure. Zero effort. Zero real reward. This is not an accident. This is a system. And it was designed specifically for men like you. The question is not whether the trap exists. It does. The question is whether you're man enough to see it. And more importantly, whether you're man enough to step out of it. The trap was built for you specifically. The 4 weapons being used against men. Let me break this down for you because I want you to understand exactly what you're up against. This is not one problem. This is 4 weapons working together at the same time. Weapon 1, pornography. We covered this in detail before, but understand it in the bigger context. Pornography does not just affect your sex life. It is a precision strike on your dopamine system, the same system that generates your drive, your ambition, your hunger for real achievement. Every session short-circuits the reward pathway. Over time, real life cannot compete. Real women cannot compete. Real goals cannot compete. You become a man sitting on top of his full potential, completely unable to access it because his brain's fuel system has been quietly drained. Your drive and your dopamine are the same system. Weapon 2, social media and the algorithm. Understand what the algorithm actually is. It is not a feed. It is a behavioral modification engine. It studies you, your pauses, your clicks, your reactions, and it feeds you exactly what keeps you most engaged, most reactive, most dependent. It shows you outrage to keep you scrolling. It shows you other men's success to keep you feeling inadequate. It shows you filtered women to make real relationships feel disappointing. And it does all of this while making you feel like you're just browsing casually. The average man now spends over 6 hours a day on screens. 6 hours. That is 6 hours that could have been used building a business, building a body, building real relationships. Instead, it went into a machine that profited off your attention and gave you nothing back. Weapon 3, comfort culture. This one is subtle and this one is deadly. At no point in human history have men had access to this level of physical comfort. Food available at any hour, entertainment available instantly, temperature-controlled rooms, everything delivered to your door, every inconvenience solved with an app. And what this has done, quietly, gradually, over years, is remove the friction from life that used to build men. Because here is what nobody tells you. Men are forged through resistance. Struggle is not the enemy of a good life. Struggle is the factory where great men are made. When you remove all the struggle, you don't get a comfortable, happy man. You get a soft, restless, purposeless man who doesn't understand why he feels empty. The comfort was the trap, and most men walked straight into it because it felt like reward. Weapon 4, the collapse of brotherhood. Men are not built to operate alone. We were designed for tribes, for brotherhood, for other men who hold us accountable, challenge us, and push us toward our best selves. Studies confirm it. Social isolation directly damages dopamine functioning. Isolated men are more vulnerable to addiction, depression, and self-destruction across the board. But look around. Real male brotherhood has nearly disappeared. Men don't build deep friendships the way previous generations did. They have followers, not brothers. Online communities, not real ones. And in the absence of real brotherhood, they turn to screens, to pornography, to social media, to anything that fills the silence. Isolation is where men go to disappear. The four weapons don't work separately. They work together. Pornography drains your drive. Social media hijacks your attention. Comfort removes your resilience. Isolation removes your accountability. And the result is a generation of men who are physically alive but spiritually checked out. Who benefits from your weakness? Now I want to ask you a question that most people are afraid to ask. Who benefits when men are weak? Think about it. A man with no drive consumes more. A man with no discipline spends more. A man with no purpose scrolls more, streams more, buys more. A man with no brotherhood is easier to influence, easier to control, easier to sell to. The porn industry generates over $100 billion a year globally. The social media industry generates hundreds of billions off your attention. The food industry profits off your emotional eating. The pharmaceutical industry profits off your depression and anxiety. None of these industries benefit from you becoming stronger. None of them profit from your discipline, your focus, your purpose, or your brotherhood. They profit from the opposite of all of those things. I am not saying there is a meeting room where people sit and plot against men. What I am saying is that the incentives of the most powerful industries on the planet are perfectly aligned with keeping you weak, distracted, and dependent. And until you understand that, you will keep thinking that your lack of drive is a personal failure. It is not. It is the expected outcome of a system that was never designed to help you win. The good news, once you see the system, you cannot unsee it. And once you cannot unsee it, you start making different decisions. They don't profit from your strength. The way back. So what does the man who wins this war actually look like? What does he do differently? First, he gets brutally honest with himself. Not performatively honest. Not, yeah, I know I should do better honest. I mean, sitting alone in a quiet room and looking at the actual inventory of his life. How much time goes to screens? How much energy goes to fake pleasure versus real pursuit? Where is he avoiding discomfort? Where is he lying to himself? This kind of honesty is rare, and it is the beginning of everything. Second, he engineers his environment before he tests his willpower. Willpower is a limited resource. It depletes. The men who think they can white-knuckle their way past every temptation are the men who relapse it. 11 p.m. when they're tired and alone. The men who win restructure their environment. So the default choice is the right one. Blockers on devices. Phones out of the bedroom. No alcohol in the house if alcohol is a problem. You don't fight the battle on the enemy's terms. You change the battlefield. A man on a mission doesn't have time to waste. Here is the truth that I want to leave you with. The war you are in is real. The weapons being used against you are real. The damage they are doing is real. But so is your ability to fight back. You were not born to be a passenger in your own life. You were not built to sit in front of a screen, consuming other people's lives while yours passes. You were built for something harder and something better than what the algorithm wants for you. The men who win this war don't win it because they're special. They win it because they woke up. They saw the system for what it was. They got angry enough to do something about it. And they refused to settle for the watered-down version of manhood that this world keeps trying to sell them. That man is available to you. Right now, today. But only you can decide to become him. So the question is, what are you going to do with the next 24 hours? Walk with God while you work for the crown. When he crowns you king, tell the world of the truth you found. That's king-level mindset. Kings don't beg. Kings don't bow. Kings build. If this video hit you differently than you expected, share it with one man who needs to hear it. Follow for more and drop a comment. What weapon has had the biggest grip on your life? Be honest. This is a safe space.